the Buddha's formula for karma. Why the universe isn't punishing you. We wake up this morning and the first thing we feel is the weight. Not the weight of the blanket on our bodies, but something deeper, something that sits in the chest like a stone we've been carrying for years. We reach for our phones. Before our feet touch the floor, the screen lights up with notifications, mails from yesterday that we never answered. Messages from people we owe something to, reminders of commitments that make our breath catch in our throat. We are not alone in this. Look around you, on the subway, in the coffee shop, in the waiting room of the doctor's office. Everyone is holding their phone like a shield, like a lifeline, like the only thing that proves they exist. We scroll through other people's lives while our own lives are happening right now, in this moment, and we're not even here for it. We feel the tightness in our shoulders before we even remember why we're stressed. Our jaw is clenched, our stomach is tight, our breathing is shallow and quick. We're living in a state of constant preparation for something that hasn't happened yet. We're always waiting for the next text, the next email, the next opportunity, the next failure, the next chance to prove ourselves. And somewhere in the back of our mind, there's this voice. It whispers, "You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. Something is wrong with you. If you don't fix this now, you'll never fix it at all." Karma is coming back to punish you for everything you've done wrong. We've all heard the stories about karma. Maybe we grew up with them in some religious context, or maybe we found them later in life when we were searching for meaning in a world that felt too chaotic, too unfair, too random. We've been told that karma is punishment, that when something bad happens to us, it's because we did something bad before, that the universe is keeping score, and when the score is negative, we get what we deserve, that there's some cosmic judge watching us, recording our sins and waiting for the right moment to strike. This idea makes us anxious. It makes us feel like we're always walking on eggshells, like every thought we have, every word we speak, every action we take is being recorded in some cosmic ledger that will one day be opened and well be judged. We start to live in fear of making mistakes. We start to avoid people who might hurt us or judge us. We start to hide from our own shadows because we're convinced that if we do something wrong, the universe will come back and punish us. We start to believe that we're fundamentally broken, that there's something wrong with us that needs to be fixed, that we're not worthy of peace unless we've earned it through perfect behavior. But what if we've been wrong about karma? What if the universe isn't keeping score? What if karma isn't punishment at all, but something else entirely? Something that actually makes us freer, not more afraid. Something that shows us we have power, not that we're powerless. Something that invites us to wake up, not to cower in fear. Let me ask you something. When you're sitting in a meeting and someone says something that triggers you, what happens in your body? Your chest tightens. Your breath gets shallow. Your hands might start to shake. You feel heat rising in your face. Your shoulders rise toward your ears. Your jaw clenches even tighter. That's not punishment. That's your body responding to a stimulus. It's biology. It's physics. It's the way human beings are wired to respond to perceived threat. When you eat something spicy and your stomach hurts, is that the universe punishing you for eating bad food? No. It's the consequence of a chemical reaction. The spice didn't hate you. The universe didn't decide you deserved pain. The food just did what food does, and your body just did what your body does. There's no judgment in it. There's no moral code being enforced. There's just cause and effect. When you touch a hot stove and your hand burns, is karma punishing you for being careless? No. Heat burns skin. That's just how the world works. The stove doesn't hate you. The universe isn't teaching you a lesson. The fire just does what fire does. And your skin just does what skin does when it meets fire. This is what karma is. It's not a judge. It's not a punisher. It's not even a moral system. Karma is cause and effect. It's the natural law that says every action has a consequence. Every thought we think creates a pattern in our mind. Every word we speak creates a reaction in the world. Every action we take sets off a chain of events that we may not see immediately, but that are happening anyway. Like seeds planted that will grow into trees we may not recognize until years later. We're living in a world that's obsessed with results. We want the quick fix. We want the 5-minute solution. We want to lose weight without changing our diet. We want to be happy without doing the inner work. We want to be successful without taking risks. We want peace without facing our pain. And when we don't get what we want, we look for someone to blame. We blame the universe. We blame our parents. We blame our boss. We blame our partner. We blame karma. We blame ourselves. But karma isn't blaming anyone. Karma is just happening. It's the same way gravity is just happening. When you drop a ball, it falls. Not because gravity is punishing you for dropping the ball. Not because the ball did something wrong and deserves to fall. Gravity just works. It's a law of nature, and karma just works too. It's a law of the mind, a law of consciousness, a law of how our intentions shape our experience. We're so caught up in the future that we don't even see what's happening right now. We're worried about what karma will do to us tomorrow when we're not even paying attention to what karma is doing to us today. Every time we think a thought, we're creating karma. Every time we speak, we're creating karma. Every time we act, we're creating karma. And we're doing it all the time, whether we're aware of it or not, whether we want to or not, whether we understand it or not. Like breathing, like heartbeat, like the flow of blood through our veins. Karma is happening continuously. The problem is that we don't see the connection. We don't see how the small things we do every day are shaping the big things that happen to us. We think that karma is some big, dramatic event that will happen to us when we've accumulated enough good or bad deeds. We think there will be some cosmic day of judgment when everything is revealed, and we're sentenced to heaven or hell based on our scorecard. But karma is happening right now. It's in the way we talk to ourselves when we're alone in the bathroom mirror, when no one's watching. It's in the way we treat the person who serves us coffee at the cafe. It's in the way we respond to frustration when we're stuck in traffic for the third time today. It's in the way we speak to our children when we're tired and stressed. It's in the way we judge ourselves when we make a mistake. We're carrying this weight because we're convinced that we need to be perfect. We need to say the right things. We need to do the right things. We need to think the right things. We need to never make mistakes. We need to never fail. We need to never hurt anyone. And if we don't, we're going to get punished. Karma will come back and hurt us. The universe will reject us. We'll be cast out. But what if perfection isn't the point? What if the point is just to be aware, to see what we're doing, to see how it's affecting us, to see how it's affecting the world, to see the connection between our intentions and our experience, to wake up to the fact that we're creating our own reality moment by moment, thought by thought, action by action. We're stuck because we're living in a story that we've been told. A story that says we're broken. A story that says we need to be fixed. A story that says there's something wrong with us that needs to be corrected. A story that says the universe is watching us and judging us. And we're trying so hard to fix ourselves that we're not even living. We're not even here. We're not present. We're not awake. We're asleep in a dream of punishment and fear. The truth is, we're not broken. We're not flawed. We're not incomplete. We're not sins waiting to be redeemed. We're just human. And being human means making mistakes. It means not knowing everything. It means struggling. It means suffering. It means getting confused. It means shooting arrows we didn't intend to shoot. And it means having the capacity to change, to grow, to learn, to become more aware, to wake up from the dream. Karma is not about punishing us for being human. Karma is about showing us how being human works. It's about teaching us that every choice we make has a consequence, that every thought we think creates a pattern, that every word we speak creates a reaction, that every action we take sets off a chain of events, and that we have the power to change those patterns, to redirect those chains, to create different consequences, to choose different intentions. We're so afraid of karma because we think it's going to come back and hurt us. We think it's like a boomerang that will return to strike us when we're not looking. But karma isn't hurtful. Karma isn't trying to hurt us. Karma isn't trying to help us either. Karma is just honest. It's telling us the truth about how our actions affect us. It's not judging us. It's not punishing us. It's not rewarding us. It's just showing us what we've created. It's like a mirror that reflects exactly what's there. Without judgment, without bias, without love or hate, just truth. And the beautiful thing is, we can create something different. We can choose to think differently. We can choose to speak differently. We can choose to act differently. We can choose different intentions. And when we do, we create different karma. We create different consequences. We create different patterns in our mind and in the world. We create a different experience of life. But we have to be aware. We have to see what we're doing. We have to understand that we're not separate from the consequences of our actions. We're not victims of karma. We're the creators of karma. And that means we have the power to change it. We have the power to choose. We have the power to wake up. We're living in a world that's full of suffering. We see it everywhere. On the news, in our streets, in our homes, in our bodies, in our minds. We feel it. We experience it. We breathe it. And we're looking for someone to blame. We're looking for a reason. We're looking for an explanation that will make us feel better, that will make the suffering make sense, that will tell us why this is happening and how to stop it. But the explanation won't make us feel better. Understanding won't make the pain disappear instantly. The only thing that will make us feel better is understanding combined with action. Understanding how our suffering works. Understanding how we create it. Understanding how we can change it. Understanding that we're not powerless. Understanding that we have choice. Understanding that we're not being punished. Karma is that understanding. Karma is the truth about cause and effect. And when we understand karma, we're not afraid of it anymore. We're not running from it. We're not hiding from it. We're not cowering in fear of it. We're working with it. We're using it. We're letting it guide us toward a life that's more aware, more compassionate, more free, more present, more awake. We're carried forward by habits we don't see. We repeat patterns we don't remember learning. We believe stories we didn't choose. And karma is the mechanism by which these patterns continue. But karma is also the mechanism by which we can change them. Karma is not a prison. Karma is a path. Karma is not a sentence. Karma is a choice. Let me tell you about someone named Sarah. Sarah is 34 years old. She works in marketing for a tech company in San Francisco. She's smart, she's talented, she's driven, she's ambitious, and she's exhausted. Sarah wakes up every morning at 6 a.m. before her feet even touch the floor. Her hand reaches for her phone on the nightstand. She checks her phone before she gets out of bed. She has 12 emails waiting for her. 3 of them are marked urgent. She scrolls through social media for 10 minutes, looking at other people's lives, at their promotions, their vacations, their perfect bodies, their happy families, comparing her life to theirs, feeling like she's not doing enough, like she's not advancing fast enough, like she's failing somehow. She gets out of bed and her back is already stiff. Her shoulders are tight, raised toward her ears. Her jaw is clenched so hard her teeth ache. Her stomach is a knot. She walks to the bathroom and looks in the mirror, and she doesn't like what she sees. She criticalizes her face. She criticalizes her body. She tells herself she needs to change, to fix, to improve. She goes to work and she's in meetings all day. In every meeting, she's trying to prove herself. She's trying to show that she's competent, that she's valuable, that she's worth the money they're paying her, that she deserves to be there. And when someone says something that challenges her idea, she feels it in her chest immediately. A spike of anxiety, a rush of heat rising up her neck, a tightening in her throat that makes it hard to speak. Her hands might start to shake slightly. Her breathing gets shallow. She wants to defend herself. She wants to win. She wants to be right. She wants them to see that she's good enough. But she doesn't win. She never feels like she wins. Because even when she does a good job, even when she gets praised, even when she gets promoted, even when her boss says she's doing great, there's still this voice in her head that says, "You're not good enough. You're not doing enough. Something is wrong with you. You're lucky they haven't realized. You're not as smart as you think. Karma is coming back to punish you for all the times you weren't perfect." Sarah doesn't sleep well. She wakes up at 3 a.m. and she can't get her mind to stop. She's thinking about everything she needs to do tomorrow, everything she's worried about, everything she's afraid of, every conversation she's dreading, every deadline she's stressed about. And she's thinking about the past too. She's thinking about the mistakes she made, the things she said that she shouldn't have said, the people she hurt accidentally, the opportunities she missed, the times she failed, and she's asking herself, why did I do that? Why am I like this? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just be perfect? Karma punishing me like this. She's convinced that something bad is going to happen to her. She's convinced that she's going to lose her job. She's convinced that she's going to fail. She's convinced that everyone will realize she's not good enough. She's convinced that karma is going to come back and punish her for all the things she's done wrong, for all the times she wasn't perfect, for all the mistakes she made. Sarah is not alone. There's a man named David who's 42 years old. David works as a lawyer in Chicago. Has successful, has wealthy, has respected, has accomplished, and has angry. David is always angry, has angry at his wife for not understanding him, for not listening, for not supporting him the way he needs. He's angry at his kids for not listening to him, for not respecting him, for not doing what he says. He's angry at his boss for not giving him more responsibility, for not recognizing his talents, for not promoting him faster. He's angry at the world for not being fair, for not rewarding him the way he deserves, for not going his way. He's angry at himself for not being better, for not being perfect, for making mistakes, for not controlling everything the way he should. When David gets frustrated, his body reacts violently. His face gets red, flushed with heat. His voice gets loud, booming, aggressive. His hands shake with tension. His muscles tense up. His shoulders rise. His jaw clenches. He feels like he's going to explode, like there's pressure building inside him that has to be released. And he does explode. He yells at people. He sends angry emails that he regrets later. He makes decisions in the heat of the moment that are impulsive and destructive. He cuts people off. He pushes people away. David is convinced that Hez being punished. Hez convinced that something bad happened to him in the past, maybe when he was a child, maybe earlier in his life, and now karma is coming back to hurt him. Hez convinced that the universe is unfair, that it's against him, that it's testing him, that it's trying to break him. Hez convinced that Hez the victim, that everyone else has it easy, and Hez the one who's suffering, that karma is specifically targeting him. But David is not a victim. David is creating his own suffering. Every time he gets angry, Hez creating a pattern in his mind, a habit of anger that gets stronger each time. Every time he yells at someone, he's creating a reaction in the world, pushing people away, creating isolation, creating distance. Every time he makes a bad decision in the heat of the moment, he's creating a consequence that hell have to deal with later, problems that hell have to solve, damage that hell have to repair. David doesn't see this. David doesn't understand that Hez the creator of his own karma. David thinks that karma is something that's happening to him, that's external, that's separate from him. But karma is something that Hez doing. Karma is his intention. Karma is his anger. Karma is his yelling. Karma is his impulsive decisions. Karma is him. There's also a woman named Alina. Alina is 28 years old. Alina works as a nurse in Miami. She's kind, she's compassionate, she's dedicated, she's caring, and she's depressed. Alina sees suffering every day. She sees people who are sick, who are in pain, who are dying. She sees families who are scared, who are grieving, who are losing someone they love. She sees children who are hurting. She sees elderly people who are lonely, and she feels it all. She feels their pain as her own pain. She feels their fear as her own fear. She feels their despair as her own despair. And she carries it all with her, like a burden she can't put down. Alina doesn't sleep well either. She wakes up and she's tired, exhausted before the day even starts. She's drained, she's empty. She feels like there's nothing left in her, and she's guilty. She's guilty that she's not doing enough, that she's not helping more people, that she's not saving everyone. She's guilty that she's not strong enough, that she can't handle it all, that she's breaking down. She's guilty that she's not good enough, that she's not worthy of happiness, that she deserves to suffer because she didn't do enough. Alina is convinced that she's being punished for something. She's convinced that she did something wrong in the past. Maybe she hurt someone. Maybe she wasn't kind enough. Maybe she failed someone. And now karma is coming back to hurt her. She's convinced that she's not worthy of happiness, that happiness is for other people, that she has to suffer, that suffering is her destiny, that karma has decided this is her life. But Alina doesn't understand that her suffering is not punishment. Her suffering is the consequence of how she's relating to the world. She's taking on other people's pain. She's carrying it with her. She's not letting it go. She's identifying with it. She's making it her own. And that's creating a pattern in her mind. That's making her depressed. That's draining her energy. That's exhausting her. Sarah, David, and Alina are all different. They're in different places. They have different jobs. They have different struggles. But they're all suffering. And they're all suffering because they don't understand karma. They think karma is punishment. They think karma is something that's happening to them, that's external, that's separate from them. They think karma is the universe judging them and punishing them for their mistakes, for their failures, for their imperfections. But karma is not punishment. Karma is cause and effect. It's the natural law that says every action has a consequence. Every thought creates a pattern. Every word creates a reaction. Every action sets off a chain of events. Sarah's thoughts are the cause. Her suffering is the effect. David's anger is the cause. His isolation is the effect. Alina's identification with pain is the cause. Her depression is the effect. They're all creating their own karma. They're all creating their own consequences. They're all creating their own patterns. And they don't even see it. They're blind to it. They're asleep to it. They're living in a dream of punishment when they're actually creating their own experience. Let me tell you about something that happens in our bodies when we're stressed, when we're anxious, when we're angry, when we're depressed. Something that happens physically, that we can feel, that we can measure. When we're stressed, our bodies react. Our breath gets shallow. We stop breathing deeply. Our chest tightens like there's a band around it. Our shoulders rise, tense, activated. Our jaw clenches, our teeth press together. Our stomach hurts, becomes a knot. Our hands shake. Our heart rate increases. Our breathing gets faster. Our muscles tense up. We're preparing to fight or run. Even though we're not fighting, we're not running. This is not punishment. This is biology. This is the way our bodies are wired to respond to stress. When we feel threatened, our body activates the stress response, the fight or flight response. It's ancient, it's primal, it's survival. But we're not in survival mode. We're in a meeting, we're in traffic, we're in bed at 3 a.m., and our body is still in stress mode. It's still preparing for something. That's not happening. This is what happens when we're stuck in a pattern. When we're thinking the same thoughts, when we're feeling the same feelings, when we're doing the same actions, our body gets stuck in the same response. And that response is stress. That response is tension. That response is suffering. Sarah's body is stuck in stress mode. Every time she gets into a meeting, her body activates the stress response. Every time someone challenges her idea, her body activates the stress response. Every time she thinks I'm not good enough, her body activates the stress response. Her body is not punishing her. Her body is just responding to the patterns in her mind. David's body is stuck in anger mode. Every time he gets frustrated, his body activates the anger response. Every time someone doesn't listen to him, his body activates the anger response. Every time he thinks the world is unfair, his body activates the anger response. His body is not punishing him. His body is just responding to the patterns in his mind. Elena's body is stuck in depression mode. Every time she sees suffering, her body activates the depression response. Every time she feels guilty, her body activates the depression response. Every time she thinks I'm not worthy, her body activates the depression response. Her body is not punishing her. Her body is just responding to the patterns in her mind. Their bodies are not punishing them. Their bodies are just responding to the patterns in their minds. And the patterns in their minds are created by the thoughts they think, the words they speak, the actions they take, the intentions they have. This is karma. This is cause and effect. The thoughts they think are the causes. The patterns in their minds are the effects. The feelings they feel are the causes. The patterns in their bodies are the effects. The words they speak are the causes. The reactions in the world are the effects. The actions they take are the causes. The consequences they experience are the effects, and they're doing this all the time. Every moment, every breath, every thought, every word, every action, they're creating karma. They are creating consequences. They are creating patterns in their minds and in their bodies, and they're not aware of it. They're stuck because they're not seeing what they're doing. They're not understanding the connection. They're not recognizing that they're the creators, not the victims. And because they're not aware, they're stuck in the same patterns. They're stuck in the same suffering. They're stuck in the same karma. But they can change. They can become aware. They can see what they're doing. They can understand the connection. They can change the patterns. They can change the suffering. They can change the karma. But they have to want to. They have to be willing to look at themselves. They have to be willing to see the truth. They have to be willing to do the work. Sarah, David, and Elena are all suffering. But they're not being punished. They're creating their own suffering. And they have the power to change it. Now let me tell you about something the Buddha said. Something that changes everything we think about karma, about suffering, about ourselves. The Buddha taught about karma, but he taught about it differently than we've been taught. He didn't teach that karma is punishment. He didn't teach that karma is the universe judging us. He didn't teach that karma is keeping score. He taught that karma is intention, the Buddha said. Intention, I tell you, is karma. Having intended, one acts through body, speech, or mind. This is revolutionary. This changes everything. This is the key that unlocks the door. Karma is not what we do. Karma is why we do it. Karma is the intention behind the action, the thought behind the word, the feeling behind the movement, the wanting behind the choosing. When Sarah thinks I'm not good enough, that's karma. That's an intention. That's a thought that creates a pattern in her mind, and that pattern is suffering. That pattern is stress. That pattern is exhaustion. When David gets angry and yells at someone, that's karma. That's an intention. That's a feeling of anger that creates a reaction in the world, and that reaction is isolation. That reaction is distance. That reaction is pushing people away. When Elena takes on other people's pain and carries it with her, that's karma. That's an intention. That's a feeling of identification that creates a pattern in her mind. And that pattern is depression. That pattern is exhaustion. That pattern is emptiness. The Buddha is telling us that karma is not punishment. Karma is intention. And intention is something we can change. Intention is something we can choose. Intention is where our power lies. But there's something else the Buddha taught that's even more important, even more profound. He taught about the second arrow, the Buddha said. When an ordinary person feels pain, they feel two pains. The first pain is the physical pain. The second pain is the pain they create by resisting the first pain, by adding story to it, by making it mean something about themselves. The first arrow is what happens to us. It's the pain, the loss, the failure, the sickness, the death, the criticism, the rejection, the inconvenience. It's the thing that happens that we can't control. It's life happening. The second arrow is what we do to ourselves after the first arrow hits. It's the resistance, it's the anger, it's the blame, it's the why me, it's the this shouldn't be happening, it's the being punished, it's the not good enough, it's the story we tell ourselves about what happened. The first arrow is karma. The second arrow is also karma. But the second arrow is the karma we create for ourselves after the first arrow hits. The second arrow is the suffering we add to the suffering. That's already there. Let me explain this with an example. With Sarah. Sarah gets criticized at work. Someone says her idea is bad, that it won't work, that she needs to change it. That's the first arrow. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. It's something that happened to her. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. But then Sarah creates the second arrow. She thinks I'm not good enough. She thinks they don't like me. She thinks I'm going to lose my job. She thinks karma is punishing me for something I did wrong. She thinks something is wrong with me. She creates a story about what the criticism means, and that story is suffering. The first arrow is the criticism. The second arrow is the suffering Sarah creates by how she relates to the criticism. The first arrow is one thing. The second arrow is 10 times worse. Let me explain with David. David gets frustrated in traffic. He's stuck behind someone who's driving slow. He's going to miss something. He's going to be late. That's the first arrow. It's annoying. It's inconvenient. It's something that happened to him. But then David creates the second arrow. He gets angry. He yells. He sends an angry email later. He thinks the world is unfair. He thinks being punished. He thinks karma is coming back to hurt me. He thinks this shouldn't be happening to me. He creates a story about what the traffic means, and that story is suffering. The first arrow is the slow driver. The second arrow is the suffering David creates by how he relates to the slow driver. Let me explain with Elena. Elena sees a patient die. It's sad, it's painful, it's heartbreaking. That's the first arrow. It's grief, it's loss. It's something that happened. But then Elena creates the second arrow. She takes on the pain. She carries it with her. She feels guilty. She thinks I'm not good enough. She thinks I'm being punished. She thinks I'm not worthy of happiness. She thinks I should have saved them. She creates a story about what the death means, and that story is suffering. The first arrow is the death. The second arrow is the suffering Alina creates by how she relates to the death. The Buddha is telling us that most of our suffering is the second arrow. Most of our pain is not what happens to us. Most of our pain is what we do to ourselves after what happens to us. Most of our suffering is self-created. Most of our karma is self-generated. We're so focused on the first arrow that we don't even see the second arrow. We're so focused on what's happening to us that we don't see what we're doing to ourselves. We're blaming the world when we're actually blaming ourselves. We're blaming karma when we're actually creating karma. The first arrow is inevitable. Life happens. People criticize us. Things go wrong. People die, we fail, we get sick, we lose things. That's life. That's the first arrow. We can't avoid it. But the second arrow is optional. We can choose not to shoot it. We can choose to feel the pain without resisting it. We can choose to accept what's happening without blaming ourselves. We can choose to see the truth without creating a false story. We can choose not to add suffering to suffering. This is the wisdom that breaks delusion. This is the understanding that frees us. This is the key to liberation. Karma is not punishment. Karma is intention. And the second arrow is the intention we create for ourselves after the first arrow hits. And we can choose not to create the second arrow. We can choose to end the cycle. But we have to see it first. We have to recognize it. We have to understand that most of our suffering is not what happens to us. Most of our suffering is what we do to ourselves. Most of our karma is our choice. Sarah, David, and Alina are all shooting the second arrow. They are all creating more suffering for themselves. They are all thinking they are being punished when they are actually punishing themselves. They are all thinking karma is external when karma is internal. But they can stop. They can see the second arrow. They can recognize it. They can choose not to shoot it. They can end the cycle. They can free themselves. When Sarah gets criticized, she can choose not to think I'm not good enough. She can choose to see the criticism as information, not as judgment. She can choose to feel the discomfort without creating more suffering. She can choose not to shoot the second arrow. When David gets frustrated in traffic, he can choose not to get angry. He can choose to see the situation as it is, not as unfair. He can choose to feel the annoyance without creating more suffering. He can choose not to shoot the second arrow. When Alina sees a patient die, she can choose not to take on the pain. She can choose to feel the sadness without carrying it with her. She can choose to accept the loss without creating more suffering. She can choose not to shoot the second arrow. This is the practice. This is the work. This is the path. This is how we transform karma. The Buddha is teaching us that we're not victims of karma. We're the creators of karma. And we have the power to change it. We have the power to stop shooting the second arrow. We have the power to create different intentions. We have the power to create different suffering. We have the power to create different lives. But we have to be aware. We have to see what we're doing. We have to recognize the second arrow when it appears. We have to catch it before it hits. And this is hard. This is really hard because the second arrow is automatic. It's habitual. It's the pattern we've been following for years. It's the story we've been telling ourselves for years. It's the belief we've been holding for years. It's deities deep in our nervous system. It's wired into our brains. Breaking the pattern is hard. Seeing the second arrow is hard. Stopping the second arrow is hard. Catching it before it hits is hard. But it's possible. It's possible for Sarah. It's possible for David. It's possible for Alina, and it's possible for you. The Buddha is teaching us that we're not broken, we're not flawed, we're not incomplete. We're just stuck in a pattern. And we can change the pattern. We can see the second arrow. We can stop shooting it. We can create different karma. We can create different lives. This is the wisdom. This is the truth. This is the freedom. This is liberation. Karma is not punishment. Karma is intention. And the second arrow is the intention we create for ourselves. And we can choose not to create it. We can choose freedom. Now let me show you how to do this. How to see the second arrow. How to stop shooting it. How to create different karma. How to transform your life. This is the practice. This is the work. This is the path. This is how we wake up. The first step is awareness. We have to become aware of what we're doing. We have to see the thoughts we're thinking. We have to see the feelings we're feeling. We have to see the actions we're taking. We have to see the second arrow. We have to recognize it when it appears. We have to say, There's the second arrow when we start thinking being punished, or something is wrong with me, or karma is coming back to hurt me, or I'm not good enough. Here's how to do this when something uncomfortable happens. The first arrow: pause. Just pause. Don't react. Don't think. Don't speak. Don't act. Just pause. Stop. Freeze. Be still. Take a breath. Feel your breath. Feel it going in. Feel it going out. Feel your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your hands in your lap. Feel your chest rising and falling. Feel the air moving through your nose. Feel your lungs expanding. Feel your abdomen contracting. This pause is the space between the first arrow and the second arrow. This is the space where we can choose. This is the space where we can see the second arrow before we shoot it. This is the space of freedom. In this space, ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Don't judge. Just observe what thought is arising. Is it I'm not good enough? Is it this shouldn't be happening? Is it I'm being punished? Is it something is wrong with me? Is it they don't like me? Is it I'm going to fail? When you see the thought, don't fight it. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to change it. Just see it. Notice it. Acknowledge it. Say to yourself, there's the second arrow. There's the story. There's the delusion. This is awareness. This is the first step. This is waking up. The second step is acceptance. Once you see the second arrow, you accept it. You don't judge yourself for shooting it. You don't blame yourself for having the thought. You don't feel guilty for feeling the feeling. You don't criticize yourself for the pattern. You just accept it. You say to yourself, I'm having this thought, it's okay, it's human, everyone has these thoughts. I'm not broken. I'm not flawed. I'm just human. This is what humans do. We create stories, we add suffering to suffering. It's normal. It's okay. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is not saying this is fine when it's not fine. Acceptance is not saying I don't need to change. Acceptance is saying this is happening and then choosing what to do next. Acceptance is the foundation for change. When Sarah gets criticized at work and she thinks I'm not good enough, she accepts it. She says, I'm having this thought, it's okay. It's human, I'm not broken. Now I can choose what to do next. When David gets frustrated in traffic and he gets angry, he accepts it. He says, I'm feeling this anger. It's okay, it's human. I'm not flawed. Now I can choose what to do next. When Alina sees a patient die and she feels guilty, she accepts it. She says, I'm feeling this guilt. It's okay, it's human. I'm not broken. Now I can choose what to do. Next, acceptance creates space. It creates the space between the second arrow and the next action. And in that space, we can choose. That space is freedom. The third step is choice. Once we see the second arrow and accept it, we can choose not to shoot it again. We can choose a different thought. We can choose a different feeling. We can choose a different action. We can choose a different intention. This is where we change karma. This is where we create different intentions. This is where we create different consequences. This is where we create different lives. When Sarah thinks I'm not good enough, she can choose to think I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm human. Criticism is information, not judgment. I don't have to be perfect. I'm okay. When David gets angry in traffic, he can choose to think this is inconvenient. It's okay. I can wait. The world is not unfair. This is just life. Things don't always go my way. That's normal. When Alina feels guilty about a patient dying, she can choose to think I did what I did what I could. Death is part of life. I don't need to carry this pain. I can feel the sadness and let it go. I'm worthy. I'm enough. This is the practice. This is the work. This is the path. This is how we transform karma. This is how we create different lives. But it's not easy. It's really hard. Because the second arrow is automatic. It's habitual. It's the pattern we've been following for years. We have to retrain our minds. We have to create new patterns. We have to build new habits. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is the practice of being aware. It's the practice of seeing what's happening right now. It's the practice of not getting lost in the story. It's the practice of staying present. It's the practice of waking up. Here's how to practice mindfulness every day. Set aside time to sit quietly. Just sit. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel it going in. Feel it going out. Don't try to change it. Just feel it. When thoughts come, don't fight them. Don't follow them. Don't get lost in them. Just see them. Say, there's a thought, and let it pass, like clouds passing in the sky, like leaves floating down a stream. When feelings come, don't push them away. Don't get lost in them. Don't try to fix them. Just feel them. Say, There's a feeling and let it pass like waves on the ocean, like weather passing through the sky. When sensations come in your body, don't ignore them. Don't react to them. Don't try to change them. Just feel them. Say there's a sensation and let it pass, like the feeling of wind on your skin, like the sound of rain on a roof. This is mindfulness. This is the practice of being aware. And the more you practice, the more aware you become. The more you see the second arrow when it appears, the more you can choose not to shoot it, the more freedom you have. But mindfulness is not just about sitting quietly. Mindfulness is about being aware in everyday life. It's about seeing the second arrow when it appears in meetings, when it appears in traffic, when it appears in relationships, when it appears at night when you can't sleep, when it appears in the grocery store, when it appears with your children, when it appears with your partner, when it appears with your friends. Here's how to practice mindfulness in everyday life. When you're waking up in the morning, pause. Before you check your phone, before you get out of bed, before you start thinking about the day, before you reach for your clothes, pause. Take 3 breaths, feel your body, feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What's my state? What's in my mind? When you're in a meeting and someone challenges your idea, pause. Before you defend yourself, before you get anxious, before you try to prove yourself, before you speak, pause. Take 3 breaths. Feel your body. Feel the tightness in your chest. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? What story am I telling myself? When you're driving and someone cuts you off, pause. Before you get angry, before you yell, before you send an angry email later, before you react, pause. Take 3 breaths. Feel your body. Feel the heat in your face. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What intention is driving me? When you're with someone and they say something that hurts you, pause before you react, before you blame them, before you create a story, before you speak. Pause, take 3 breaths, feel your body, feel the pain in your chest, feel your breath. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Is this the second arrow? When you're eating and you notice you're eating too fast, pause before you continue. Pause. Take 3 breaths, feel your body, feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I doing? Why am I eating so fast? What's driving me? When you're talking to someone and you notice you're not listening, pause before you continue talking. Pause. Take 3 breaths, feel your body, feel your breath. Ask yourself, am I present? Am I listening? What's in my mind? This is mindfulness in everyday life. This is the practice of seeing the second arrow when it appears. And the more you practice, the more you see it. The more you can choose not to shoot it, the more freedom you have, the more peace you experience. The 4th step is compassion. Once we see the second arrow and choose not to shoot it, we need to be compassionate with ourselves. We need to be kind to ourselves. We need to understand that we're human. We're not perfect. We're going to shoot the second arrow again. And that's okay. We're going to make mistakes. And that's okay. We're going to fail. And that's okay. Compassion is not self-indulgence. Compassion is not saying I don't need to work on this. Compassion is not saying it's fine to keep shooting the second arrow. Compassion is saying I'm human, I'm struggling, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep waking up. When Sarah shoots the second arrow again and thinks I'm not good enough, she's compassionate with herself. She says, I'm human, I'm struggling, it's okay. I'll try again next time. I'm not broken, I'm learning. When David shoots the second arrow again and gets angry, he's compassionate with himself. He says, I'm human, I'm struggling, it's okay. I'll try again next time. I'm not flawed, I'm growing. When Alina shoots the second arrow again and feels guilty, she's compassionate with herself. She says, I'm human, I'm struggling, it's okay. I'll try again next time. I'm not broken, I'm waking up. Compassion is the fuel that keeps us going. It's what helps us keep practicing when it's hard. It's what helps us keep trying when we fail. It's what helps us keep walking the path. It's what helps us not give up. It's what helps us not judge ourselves. It's what helps us stay gentle with ourselves. The 5th step is consistency. This practice is not something you do once and then you're done. This is something you do every day, every moment, every breath, every thought, every word, every action, every interaction, every situation. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency is not saying I'm going to never shoot the second arrow again. Consistency is not saying I'm going to be perfect at this. Consistency is saying I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep waking up. I'm going to keep walking the path, even when I fail, even when I shoot the second arrow again, even when I forget, going to keep coming back as a daily practice. You can do morning when you wake up. Pause. Before you move, before you speak, before you think about the day, pause. Take 3 breaths. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Set an intention for the day. Say, today I'm going to try to see the second arrow. I'm going to try to choose compassion. I'm going to try to be aware. I'm going to try to wake up midday, sometime during the day. Pause, maybe at lunch, maybe between meetings, maybe on your break. Pause. Take 3 breaths. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, have I shot the second arrow today? What thoughts have I been thinking? What feelings have I been feeling? Where am I stuck? Evening. Before you go to sleep, pause. Before you turn off the light, before you close your eyes, pause. Take 3 breaths. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, how was my day? Where did I shoot the second arrow? Where did I choose not to shoot it? What did I learn? Be compassionate with yourself. Say, I'm human. I'm doing the best I can. I'll keep trying tomorrow. I'm okay. This is the practice. This is the work. This is the path. This is how we transform karma. This is how we create different lives. But there's something else. There's something deeper. There's something that changes everything. Something that makes all of this possible. The Buddha taught about impermanence. He taught that everything changes. Everything. Nothing stays the same. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is permanent. Thoughts change, feelings change, bodies change, relationships change, jobs change, lives change, seasons change, cities change, stars change, everything changes. This is the truth. This is the reality. And when we understand this, everything changes. When we understand impermanence, we're freed from the illusion that things are permanent. We're freed from the fear that things will stay the same. We're freed from the attachment to what is. When Sarah thinks I'm not good enough, she can remember impermanence. She can say, this thought is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. I'm not this thought. I'm not fixed. I'm not solid. I'm changing. This feeling is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. I'm not this feeling. I'm changing. When David gets angry, he can remember impermanence. He can say, this anger is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. I'm not this anger. I'm not fixed. I'm not solid. I'm changing. This situation is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. When Alina feels guilty, she can remember impermanence. She can say, this guilt is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. I'm not this guilt. I'm not fixed. I'm not solid. I'm changing. This pain is not permanent. It's going to change. It's going to pass. Impermanence is the truth that frees us. It's the truth that shows us we're not stuck. We're not stuck in the patterns. We're not stuck in the suffering. We're not stuck in the karma. We're not stuck in the stories. We're changing. We're always changing. And we can choose to change in a different direction. We can choose different thoughts. We can choose different feelings. We can choose different actions. We can choose different intentions. We can create different karma. The Buddha also taught about non-self. He taught that there's no fixed, permanent self. There's no permanent identity. There's no me that's separate from the world. There's no I that's separate from everything else. We're not separate. We're connected. We're part of everything. Our thoughts are part of the world. Our feelings are part of the world. Our actions are part of the world. Our bodies are part of the world. Our breath is part of the world. Our life is part of the world. When Sarah thinks I'm not good enough, she can remember non-self. She can say, this thought is not just mine. It's part of the world. It's part of the patterns I've learned. It's part of the stories I've been told. It's part of the culture I've grown up in. I'm not separate from this. I'm connected. This thought is not me. It's just a thought. When David gets angry, he can remember non-self. He can stay. This anger is not just mine. It's part of the world. It's part of the patterns I've learned. It's part of the stories I've been told. It's part of the conditioning I've received. I'm not separate from this. I'm connected. This anger is not me. It's just a feeling. When Alina feels guilty, she can remember non-self. She can say, this guilt is not just mine. It's part of the world. It's part of the patterns I've learned. It's part of the stories I've been told. It's part of the expectations I've absorbed. I'm not separate from this. I'm connected. This guilt is not me. It's just a feeling. Non-self is the truth that frees us from the illusion of separation. It's the truth that shows us we're not alone. We're connected to everything. And when we're connected, we're not suffering alone. We're suffering together. And we can heal together, we can wake up together, we can transform together. Karma is not about punishment. Karma is about connection. Every action we take affects the world. Every thought we think affects the world. Every word we speak affects the world. Every intention we have affects the world. And the world affects us. The world's thoughts affect our thoughts. The world's feelings affect our feelings. The world's actions affect our actions. The world's conditioning affects our conditioning. The world's stories affect our stories. This is the web of karma. This is the interconnectedness of everything. And when we understand this, we see that we're not victims. We're not separate. We're part of the whole. We're part of the web. We're part of the tapestry. Sarah, David, and Alina are part of the whole. Their karma is part of the whole karma. Their suffering is part of the whole suffering. And their healing is part of the whole healing. Their waking up is part of the whole waking up. When Sarah changes her karma, she's not just changing her own karma. She's changing the whole karma. When Sarah wakes up, she's not just waking up herself, she's waking up the whole. When Sarah transforms, she's not just transforming herself, she's transforming the whole. When David changes his karma, he's not just changing his own karma, he's changing the whole karma. When David wakes up, he's not just waking up himself, he's waking up the whole. When David transforms, he's not just transforming himself, he's transforming the whole. When Alina changes her karma, she's not just changing her own karma, she's changing the whole karma. When Alina wakes up, she's not just waking up herself, she's waking up the whole. When Alina transforms, she's not just transforming herself, she's transforming the whole. This is the power of karma. This is the beauty of karma. This is the freedom of karma. This is the magic of connection. Karma is not punishment. Karma is connection. And we have the power to change the connection. We have the power to change the karma. We have the power to create a different world. We have the power to create a different reality. We have the power to wake up the whole. But we have to do the work. We have to practice. We have to be aware. We have to see the second arrow. We have to choose not to shoot it. We have to be compassionate. We have to be consistent. We have to remember impermanence. We have to remember non-self. This is the path. This is the work. This is the transformation. This is liberation. Let me tell you about something else. Something that makes this practice even more powerful. Something that deepens everything. The Buddha taught about attachment. He taught that suffering comes from attachment, not from the things themselves, not from the thoughts themselves, not from the feelings themselves, but from attaching to them, from believing they're permanent, from believing they're real, from believing they're us, from identifying with them. When we attach to a thought, we believe it's true. We believe it's permanent. We believe it's us. We become it. And that's where suffering comes from. When Sarah attaches to the thought I'm not good enough, she believes it's true. She believes it's permanent. She believes it's her. She becomes not good enough. And that's where her suffering comes from. When David attaches to the feeling of anger, he believes it's real. He believes it's permanent. He believes it's him. He becomes anger, and that's where his suffering comes from. When Alina attaches to the feeling of guilt, she believes it's true. She believes it's permanent. She believes it's her. She becomes guilt, and that's where her suffering comes from. The practice is to not attach, to see the thought without believing it's true, to see the feeling without believing it's real, to see the action without believing it's us, to see the story without believing it's true, to not identify, to not become. To not attach. This is detachment. This is non-attachment. This is freedom. This is liberation. When Sarah sees the thought I'm not good enough, she doesn't attach to it. She sees it as a thought. She sees it as temporary. She sees it as not her. She sees it as passing, and she's free. When David sees the feeling of anger, he doesn't attach to it. He sees it as a feeling. He sees it as temporary. He sees it as not him. He sees it as passing, and he's free. When Alina sees the feeling of guilt, she doesn't attach to it. She sees it as a feeling. She sees it as temporary. She sees it as not her. She sees it as passing, and she's free. This is the practice. This is the work. This is the path. This is how we transform karma. This is how we create freedom. And it's not easy. It's really hard because attachment is automatic. It's habitual. It's a pattern we've been following for years. We have to retrain our minds. We have to create new patterns. We have to build new habits. We have to wake up, but it's possible. It's possible for David. It's possible for Alina. And it's possible for you. The Buddha is teaching us that we're not broken. We're not flawed. We're not incomplete. We're just attached. And we can detach. We can see the thoughts without believing them. We can see the feelings without attaching to them. We can see the actions without believing they're us. We can see the stories without believing they're true. This is the wisdom. This is the truth. This is the freedom. This is liberation. Karma is not punishment. Karma is connection, and we have the power to change the connection. We have the power to change the karma. We have the power to create a different world. We have the power to create freedom. We have the power to wake up. But we have to do the work. We have to practice. We have to be aware. We have to see the second arrow. We have to choose not to shoot it. We have to be compassionate. We have to be consistent. We have to not attach. We have to remember impermanence. We have to remember non-self. This is the path. This is the work. This is the transformation. This is liberation. This is freedom. Now let me tell you about what happens when you do this practice. When you see the second arrow. When you choose not to shoot it. When you create different karma. When you wake up, something changes. Something deep. Something real. Something permanent in its impermanence. You start to feel different. Your body feels different. Your breath feels different. Your mind feels different. Your heart feels different. Your whole being feels different. When you're in a meeting and someone challenges your idea, you don't feel the tightness in your chest. You don't feel the heat in your face. You don't feel the anxiety in your throat. You don't feel the urge to defend yourself. You feel calm. You feel steady. You feel present. You feel free. When you're driving and someone cuts you off, you don't feel the anger. You don't feel the heat. You don't feel the urge to yell. You don't feel the need to prove yourself. You feel calm. You feel steady. You feel present. You feel free. When you're with someone and they say something that hurts you, you don't feel the pain become your identity. You don't feel the guilt. You don't feel the story. You don't feel the second arrow. You feel the pain and you let it pass. You feel calm. You feel steady. You feel present. You feel free. This is the new state. This is the state of peace. This is the state of freedom. This is the state of karma. That's not punishment. This is the state of liberation. You understand now. Karma is not punishment. Karma is connection. Karma is cause and effect. Karma is intention, and you have the power to change it. You have the power to choose. You have the power to wake up. You're not a victim of karma. You're the creator of karma, and you can create different karma. You can create different intentions. You can create different consequences. You can create a different world. You can create a different reality. You can create freedom. You're not broken. You're not flawed. You're not incomplete. You're not sins waiting to be redeemed. You're not a problem to be solved. You're not a mistake to be fixed. You're just human. And being human means making mistakes. It means not knowing everything. It means struggling. It means suffering. It means getting confused. It means shooting arrows you didn't intend to shoot. And it means having the capacity to change, to grow, to learn, to become more aware, to wake up from the dream. And you're changing. You're growing. You're learning. You're becoming more aware. You're waking up. You're not alone in this. Sarah is doing this practice. David is doing this practice. Elena is doing this practice. Marcus is doing this practice. Priya is doing this practice. And you're doing this practice too. We're all doing this practice together. We're all changing together. We're all healing together. We're all becoming more aware together. We're all waking up together. This is the web of karma. This is the interconnectedness of everything. And we're all part of it. We're all connected. We're all one. The Buddha taught us this. He taught us that karma is not punishment. He taught us that karma is intention. He taught us about the second arrow. He taught us about impermanence. He taught us about non-self. He taught us about non-attachment. He taught us about compassion. He taught us about mindfulness. And he taught us something else, something even more important, something that's the heart of everything. He taught us that we have infinite potential. He taught us that we're not broken. He taught us that we're not flawed. He taught us that we're not incomplete. He taught us that we're already whole. We're already complete. We're already perfect. We just need to see it. We just need to remember it. We just need to wake up to it. This is the final teaching. This is the deepest truth. This is the ultimate freedom. This is liberation. You're not broken. You're not flawed. You're not incomplete. You're already whole. You're already complete. You're already perfect. You're already free. You just need to see it. You just need to remember it. You just need to wake up, and you have the power to change your karma. You have the power to create different intentions. You have the power to create different consequences. You have the power to create a different world. You have the power to create freedom. You have the power to wake up. But you have to do the work. You have to practice. You have to be aware. You have to see the second arrow. You have to choose not to shoot it. You have to be compassionate. You have to be consistent. You have to not attach. You have to remember impermanence. You have to remember non-self. This is the path. This is the work. This is the transformation. This is liberation. This is freedom. This is peace. And it's waiting for you. It's waiting for Sarah. It's waiting for David. It's waiting for Elena. It's waiting for Marcus. It's waiting for Priya. And it's waiting for you. The path is open. The door is unlocked. The freedom is real. The peace is here. The wakefulness is now. So I ask you, what will you choose? Will you keep shooting the second arrow? Will you keep creating suffering for yourself? Will you keep believing the false story? Will you keep thinking you're being punished? Will you keep sleeping in the dream? Or will you see the second arrow? Will you choose not to shoot it? Will you create different karma? Will you change the story? Will you create a different world? Will you wake up? Will you free yourself? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The freedom is yours. The peace is yours. The wakefulness is yours. And it's waiting for you right now, in this moment, in this breath, in this heart. The path is open. Walk it. The door is unlocked. Open it. The freedom is real. Claim it. The peace is here. Find it. The wakefulness is now. Be it. You are already free. You just need to remember. You are already whole. You just need to see. You are already perfect. You just need to know. You are already enough. You just need to believe. Karma is not punishment. Karma is your power. Karma is your choice. Karma is your freedom. Use it. The end is not an end. It's a beginning, a new beginning. Walk forward, wake up, be free.